Hello, and in this video I'm going to be sharing what is a good free-to-play exclusive weapon you can use to grind or just play overall what is enjoyable. Now, free-to-play friendly means it's going to be very easy to get. It won't be very difficult to get at all. Probably be one of the easiest things in the game that you can probably get. Now, I've made a small list of the weapons that are very free-to-play friendly and that you can get quite easily, and that you can probably have quite a bit of fun playing with. First one's going to be the frost dagger. Now, there's a couple different reasons I like this weapon quite a bit. One, it's really small. Now, you'll learn that I like the smaller weapons quite a bit, simply because they're a lot easier. You can see a lot easier, and overall it's easier to tell the hitbox. Other the bigger weapons are harder to use because the hitbox is very, very deceiving. With the smallest weapon, its hitbox may look small, but as you'll see, every weapon has the same hitbox. This is probably if I was a free-to-play and this is the only weapon. If I could choose one of the Blizzard weapons, this would be the one I would choose. I did use this weapon for a little bit while I was playing. Probably one of the first daggers I used, and I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's not very hard to get. It's not worth a whole lot, but it is a very fun weapon to use. I do have Bob, so I do a lot of damage compared to most players. But this weapon is very fun to use. It's a nice design. It's a nice little swing effect with the slashing and the the stab, slice, stab, slice, or cut, slice. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Overall, it's a pretty clean weapon. It doesn't take up any visibility, like I've said. You can barely even see it. It's got a cool little design. You hold it right in front of you, which is pretty dope. Moving on to the next weapon that's a little harder to get is the Royal Ruiner. Now for this weapon you have to be top 100 on any of the wins, rolls, or elims leaderboard. So it's definitely a bit harder to get and might take you a little while. You'll definitely be able to get it eventually. What I like about this weapon is that it's very dope. It's literally a crown. It shows you're on the leaderboard. You can trade for it obviously. It's not the cheapest thing to trade for, but it's not the most expensive. Very free-to-play friendly weapon overall. I enjoy using it a lot. It has a nice hit sound effect. Like I said, it doesn't take up a bunch of room like some of the larger weapons. Overall, it's a nice weapon to grind with, in my opinion. You can have a lot of fun using it. It's also free-to-play friendly to get. You can get it with just some simple grinding. Anything that doesn't take money or just a lot of time, you can probably get this within a month of just playing the game normally. Leaderboard isn't too hard to get on. There's not too many players actively grinding up it, mainly because the higher levels are really difficult to get onto nowadays. But once we move on to the next weapon, this one is pretty cool. I used this for a little while as well. But moving on to the next weapon, it's actually the Dark Heart weapon. Now this is about as hard to get as the Royal Ruiner. You have to trade for this one. But it's probably one of the most used grind weapons in the entire game. The reason I say that is because it has probably the coolest design in the entire game, and one of the coolest hit effects. What is happening? That's interesting. Anyway, if you can see the design here, it's literally purple and this deep black with a nice, huge purple glow around it. It is probably one of the most popular swords in the entire game. I used it. This was my main weapon for most of my kills actually. I have like 15,000 kills or something on here. And you can tell it's a small weapon. It does take up a little bit of visibility, which is annoying, but it is a really nice clean weapon to use. You can hear the sound effects and everything on the weapon. Overall, it's a pretty fun one to use, and I'm just gonna let you hear me swing around a bit, I suppose, for this entire match. And then die. Well, that happened. Just getting whooped out here and gonna lose. And I'm starting losing. Man, I hate crits. They're good for the game because it's the only way you can kill bigger players like myself. But it is annoying for a bigger player to be crit off. Because, yeah, I can just obliterate everyone here simply with just slashing a couple times. He has potential of killing me. Doesn't deal quite enough damage or have enough armor though. So yeah. It's also a lot of siphon on death, so once you have a strong enough weapon, you can just endlessly kill people and be fine. Like, even though he's doing 30 damage, I heal 40 on kill. Yeah. But yeah, this weapon's overall really nice, and probably the most popular grind weapon overall, from what I've seen. I don't think there's a more popular one. Maybe like the butterfly, midnight butterfly, which I don't own. The midnight butterfly is alright. It's nowhere near as free-to-play friendly as this one is. And the entire point of this video is just to find a nice exclusive that your average player can use. Those would be my main or top 3, you could say. Moving on, why can't I find it? Yeah, the Blizzard Scythe. This is probably one of my favorite scythes in the game, along with the Fallen Scythe. Which the Fallen Scythe is even doper in this one, but they're pretty much the exact same, except the design's a little different. So I know the scythes are one of the favorites for newer players. You can hear a nice little swing effect. Just gonna show this one off a little bit. I don't personally use the scythes very often, but I know they are pretty dope, and I've used them a couple different times. If I can actually hit. Does the slice hit effect, obviously. It's also, I like the frost dagger. It's not worth a whole lot, so it's really easy to get your hands on. Really nice weapon to use overall. This cut through people really easily. Mow them down like hay, pretty much. Ooh, double crit. Gotta get a triple. No. I personally don't recommend running in this game. You might as well swing as much as you can before you die. Because in game modes like team game modes, you don't get rewards for placement. You only get rewards for killing and damage. Moving on to the next and potentially final weapon that I may or may not have. Oh, the War Axe. Here we go. There it is. It's only 50 Robux to get, and it's really easy to trade for. It's not worth a whole lot. Overall, it's a really sick design. It's just a Leviathan axe. What the? Alright. This is a Leviathan axe. It's probably a really popular one for you noobs to use as well. It is a really dope swing effect. Really easy to use. It's another small weapon that you really don't notice too much. It doesn't take up your screen at all. It's overall a really nice one to use in my opinion. I've used it a little bit. Like I can't hit with it for some reason. I have a harder time with the swing weapons like this. That's why I don't use a lot of the spears and stuff. I just have a harder time with them. And everyone has their own personal favorite weapons. You can use any weapon in this game. The smaller weapons are just typically easier to use. You may think, oh yeah, I want the biggest and best weapon in the game. Bigger isn't always better. The bigger ones are typically harder to use. I use Empire Eradicator, which is a big hammer. It is sometimes difficult to hit people because the hitbox can be very deceiving at times. But yeah, this would be the final weapon of this little showcase here. Showcase and recommendation of what free-to-play weapons you can use. So just grind out the game a little bit, play it here and there. Obviously, you can just use any weapon you want that looks cool to you. But these are my personal 5 if you want to play for long periods of time. These are the ones I find the most enjoyment with, and they're free-to-play friendly as well. 7,000 or 16,000 exist. I almost said 17,000. It's 50 Robux in the starter pack, so it's definitely free-to-play friendly to get. And it's really easy to trade for. I wouldn't be too worried about getting your hands on any of these, except maybe the Royal Ruiner. Might take you a little bit of time, but I'm confident you can get there. Overall, hope you enjoyed this video, and peace out.